Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we will learn how to create a basic HTML form. To create a form, we use the form element. So let's try an example to understand it better. Let's say we are trying to create a login form. So we will need two input fields, first for username and second for password. We will also need a submit button. So to create a form, we need the form element. So let's use the form tag here. And to add an input field, we need to use input tag. The input tag requires type attribute. So first let's add input tag here. So input element doesn't need a closing tag. All right, so this input tag, it requires type attribute. This type attribute tells which type of input field is this. It could be a text field, a password field, a date picker, and so on. In our case, we need a text field for username. So let's add type is equal to text. So let's say type text. The input field requires another attribute called name. This name is required because when the form data is sent to backend, it is sent in key value pair. And this name, it acts as the key. So if you don't add the name attribute, then the value for input element won't be sent to the backend. I'll show you what this means in the upcoming video, where I will talk about sending form data to backend. So for now, let's just add it. So let's say name and username. Let's save it. Let's run our live server. And now, as you can see, we've got an input field here. We can just type something. Let's add a label to this. So let's say username. Let's save it. Let's bring our console up. That would be better. So as you can see, we've got our first field, username, and an input box. Similarly, let's create the next field, which is password. So let's add the label, break line, because we want the input element to be on the next line. Say input, and type is password. And then let's give it a name, say password. Let's save it. Sorry. Let's add a break line here as well. And now, as you can see, we've got our two fields, username and password. So what's this difference between text and type password? Let's see. So when you type here, let's say cafe, it shows you as a text. But here, when you type something, it shows you this ... So it is a password field. It hides your content. Now let's add the submit button. So to create a button, we need our input field. And in type, we need to add submit. And this submit button, it requires another attribute called value. So this value acts as the label for the button. So let's say submit. Let's save it. Let's bring this also to the next line. Let's save it. So this value, this label could be anything. So if we want, we can even call it login. So let's save it. Sorry. Let's save it. And as you can see, we've got a login form ready. So we've got a username field, we've got a password, and we've got a login button. So that's all for today, guys. If there's something that you did not understand, feel free to drop a comment and we will discuss it. See you in the next video. Bye and take care.